Hey, my question is for James. I was wondering, the season previous to this one, pretty much every other actor trying to kill himself, and there's a lot of like mental darkness and suffering. And I was just wondering, is that kind of difficult to go through as an actor compared to the lighter stuff earlier in the season?
Truthfully, it was really difficult to go through. This is with all of us in the show, and it's something that we bring up. We can't bear to put this thing all over, but we try and hold the mirror up to nature. So there's this thing while you're doing it, and you're just on a television show pretending, but you know that there are people who are being tortured. And that's really troubling and really sad. You want to get yourself in a space where it looks like you really are, because in some way, if you don't, it's almost like slandering people's memories who really are going through this kind of a thing. The lighter moment, I was going to bring this up at the panel yesterday, the lighter moment about that was actually that it was directed by Eddie, who had even more insane ideas than we actually filmed. So, I mean, the first thing he said, it was like, "How are you with sharks?" And I was like, what are you talking about, Eddie? Anyway, in the psychotic episode, I've been speaking to the Vancouver Aquarium. We're going to put you in the shark tank. How are you with the sharks? I'm like, Eddie, don't be ridiculous. When you go to the Vancouver Aquarium, you can't spit in the water. You get pulled out. It's like, don't infect the animals. I'm like, you think they're going to let you in the shark tank with me in the Vancouver? And then he's got this thing about when my head was in that brace and this thing. They brought in this real special doctor to absolutely, do this thing where they keep your eyelids open with special metal clips, and they try. And the producer Bob is watching. I'm on a table. This is like, this is a week before we're going to shoot like that, and they're putting it in. And then I can't remember though. I was like, this one really hurts. They went, yeah, that got broken in my car. Sorry about that. I'm like, to be really honest, I'm not being paid enough to have metal clips stuck in my and it's like, we really need it. I'm like, no, you really don't. You don't need a shower. So that kind of kept me going. I kept some sense of humour going in my mind, but also, as well, I think it's really important. There's a lot of people who wanted to see this guy get his just desserts. He'd done so many dreadful things, and then we're asking the audience again: do you really want to see another human being suffering? Is just because he's caused some suffering, is this justice or is it punitive? And at the end of this very thing, one of the reasons I got rid of my hair and shaved it all off is because, as I've said to lots of people, I looked in the mirror every morning and was like, flip, I feel like Guy's Belter. That's so horrible. And then I shaved and I was like, no, I'm just an actor. I'm James
The Bridge is a movie that I just finished in Toronto. It's a movie of the week, which is sort of like a backdoor pilot as well. I kind of went like Battlestar did with the miniseries. It's for the CTV network. They're the same people who make that TV show Flashpoint and then sold it to Fox. They're looking to do something similar with this. It's about cops. I play Frank Leo, who is loosely based on this real guy named Craig Bromell. He's quite notorious actually. He's sort of, he's the Tony Soprano of the police world. It's really interesting hanging out with this guy. He was a cop for 18 years and then quickly rose the ranks and became the head of the Toronto Police Association, basically the union, which is the fourth largest police union in North America, 7,500 cops. And he completely changed policing in the city and a lot around North America because he's gone on to consult with the LAPD, the NYPD, Chicago, and all over the place. Really to bring a better working life to the everyday police officer and really piss off the mayor and the chief and everybody. So it's a really interesting political struggle between the everyday cop and the crap they have to go through and the politics of it. So I have no idea when it's going to air. I literally finished it and then came here. So but look for it. It's called The Bridge. Thank you.
But especially for James, with regard to the writing for your characters, do any of you have any input over character nuances or character development, or are you stuck to what you're originally presented and told to interpret?
I'll kick the ball off. There is a lot of freedom to experiment and change with the show. That's not just my character, it's everybody's character. Everybody has had a hand in creating their character as far as I'm concerned. And I think the reason I've never been involved in a project where so much story is given to the actors and say, well, you know the character, and how does it feel for you? But I feel that the reason we're in that forum, we're in that milieu, is because the people who write and the people who direct have so much innate confidence and a lot of generosity. They're not micromanaging us at all. That would be ludicrous. So for me, it's just as special that the writers allow us to find certain things. That makes me think of them as terribly confident and very, very smart, and like I say, really generous. So that because we're trying to make the best of the best. Everybody wants to do the best thing. It's not about, oh, well, I don't want to do that because that's your idea. I mean, that would just be insane. But I've certainly been in a lot of projects where it is that thing. It's like, no, I didn't write it. No. And you must say, and. You know, that's kind of pathetic, and that's what I think. So we've all, I think, had a lot of freedom to experiment, and like I say, I think that comes from the confidence of the team behind us.
I think that pretty well answers the question for all of us. I'm lucky in playing Ty because the writers love writing for Ty. Sometimes they love it too much because I am the hard ass, and they kind of think that I am a redneck right wing just because I say the truth. So sometimes I have to pull them back. There was a challenge. Sometimes you read it, and I know this from read-throughs. Like Aaron, when he's at the read-throughs, just says, "I'm not saying this," and doesn't say it. James will take it and add to it. You go, "Holy smokes, what's he doing there?" Because we've been with these characters for so long. But in an episode that I just watched, actually on the way down here, I think it has been on the air because I watched it. I say we've been chasing these slit-eyed black bastards for years now, and why would they change or something like this? And when I read it, I thought that's the kind of overwriting they do for Ty. But then thought, you know what, I'm going to say this and see if it actually makes it to air. Because in these days, we don't say slit-eyed black bastard. But actually, Ty is talking about the Cylons, and Ty would say this. But that's the kind of thing that I, as Logan, the actor, have to watch, because you get the understanding when the writers overwrite that. You know the intention that they're saying, but sometimes it's kind of politically incorrect or just too much and wrong. Ty wouldn't really say that. But we do have an immense amount of freedom. Unlike most television series that you do, the network does not interfere with us. It's amazing. I had that mic yesterday. It's Eddie's mic.
No, I'm just curious. No, you didn't. I was just curious. Did they leave it in?
Yes, they left it in. It's in the episode that aired. Yeah, which is interesting.
I have kind of a